Okay, so what do we do if you have a value patch that looks something like this? You have a lot of white in there, uneven values. Well, for starters, you should sharpen your pencil, get a nice sharp point. So we're gonna look in here, and to begin with, it might be easier just to start new, but not everybody has that option. You're gonna start to go with a layer, and you should have started with a nice smooth powdery layer. And as you move along, you're kind of just swallowing up any of those any of the uneven marks. Take a moment to notify that there's some kind of a dark spot in there. If you have a kneaded eraser, such as this, extremely helpful. Make a little point out of it, go in there, and try to remove the dark part, and just fill that up. One of the things that is going to help you is that control of the pencil that I was talking about. So as you continue working, you're going to start to get a more even patch of value, but you'll notice that there are still little bits of white or dark. But you got to keep going, and then you're going to evaluate where you can fix it. What you don't want to do is bend into the paper and damage the paper. I'm trying to continue with layers, soft layers, and then here I'm seeing lines. I'm going to keep moving forward. So we're getting good here. It's really come a long way from the beginning. However, it's a lot of uneven parts. You got to look at it, step back if you can from a distance, which really helps you to get a better idea. And then you get to work on those parts. Here I notice it's a little too light. So I'm going to just try to darken that. Here I see little bits. I got a lot of the white circles from before, but here's a little bit of an imbalance in here. And you just are going to layer over those parts. You're going to layer, again, small and slow, taking your time over those white parts. Now I notice that this is all darker and this is lighter. I'm gonna have to go back down there and adjust it. I see here, and I have a kneaded eraser, and not all of you do, but I'm gonna lift up any of the dark bits. I see a dark bit over here. I want to lift it. Take it right off. Here's one. Gotta be careful because sometimes it lightens everything. Now, this half is darker, this half is a little lighter. So then I need to step back, look, get balanced. And I'm gonna put a layer here to darken it. I don't want to push so hard that I make the graphite very shiny, which can sometimes happen. I notice here there's a bit of light. Here there's a bit of lightness. I'm trying to look at the most microscopic level as possible to find those areas that are still just a bit light. Here. All in here I see, if I look closely, that there is a bit of light area. Trying to lay down a powdery airbrush-like mist and not scratching back and forth. I want to avoid that. Trying to take a look that maybe in here there's a bit of lightness, if you could see that white bit. Sometimes you get a little bit that can be a little darker. Trying to go in there. And you keep at it. Takes a lot of time and effort. See, there's a really dark bit right there. And I'm gonna just try to pick it up. You've got to be very sensitive to the changes in value. Because when you first started this, your eye was not accustomed to noticing that. But as you get better at it, you notice it a little more. And like I said, this can take many hours to do it right. But even if you can't do it perfectly, you can try to aim at that even square of value where you don't have one part very dark and one part that is very light. But try to be even throughout. And even when we get closer and we look, we could see some of the white in there. Gentle, extra gentle, to just try to remove it. Cover up those white spots that are in there. Maybe there's a little more in here. Be careful when you do, because then you're gonna maybe make more dark, and that gets hard to fix as well. So try to find a bit of moderation. So try to find a bit of moderation.